Whether it is the coal scam, the cattle smuggling scam, the teachers recruitment scam, clearly the TMC seems to be on the back foot when it comes to these corruption cases, or at least perception of these corruption cases, because let's face it, none of these cases have been proven in a court of law yet, particularly after the wads of cash that were recovered from Arpita Mukherjee's residence. Do you think that this is an attempt by the TMC to settle scores or to try and wrest the narrative back from the BJP to show that, look, the BJP is a party of violence, so whatever they say about corruption allegations against us, take it with a pinch of salt?
No, Zaka, the impression that I'm increasingly getting from Bengal, it may be just me, but it is that TMC is running out of any kind of political imagination. It heavily relies on violence. Violence has been its stock response to everything, from political to civic, challenges, it also heavily depends on the politics of demography to sort of stay in power. But violence is also a thing of diminishing returns. It cannot go on forever.
Yeah.
And it will also, at some point of time, when people turn against you, it will beget violence. The point is that in all this, the state of Bengal suffers immensely because it has been bleeding for over a century now in different ways, partition, riots, genocide, massacres, political violence, everything. So it is very, very unfortunate that Mamata Banerjee has not actually done anything. Also her political think tank doesn't seem to have any kind of a response to political challenges other than street violence, whether it is by people who are cadres and who are goons, or people who are uniformed.
All right, Mr. Mondal wanted to come in. Yeah, Mr. Mondal.
I think there is no rule of law in Bengal. I have been observing that in Bengal, that Mamata Banerjee, while she cries out for rule of law for her own partymen, but actually she does not follow any rule of law for BJP workers or any opposition for that matter. And I think as citizens in Bengal, things are getting in such a situation that everybody has to go to court to seek relief. And I think even in this case, as you rightly pointed out earlier, that the court is looking into it. It's very unfortunate that in a democracy, for everything the court has to decide, because it is the government's duty to look at things independently. But unfortunately for Mamata Banerjee and Bengal and the people of Bengal has to go to the court or seek a relief from the court, which is very unfortunate.
Okay. But let me go back to Tausif. And Tausif, it comes back to, again, if the BJP activists, as you say, all of them indulged in stone pelting, your Twitter handle, your party's official Twitter handle, also mocked these workers, saying 56-inch chest model busted. Clearly, that's an instigation when the situation is already volatile, isn't it?
No, there is no editing in that video. I've seen that video. It is the, it is the words of the leader himself. He is himself giving the opportunity to others to mock him. What can one do? If we saw Amit Malviya tweeted or retweeted a video and claimed it that Trinamool workers are setting the vehicle on fire, which was called out by the independent journalist based in Kolkata. Many independent journalists retweeted Amit Walia's tweet and called him out that, no, these are the BJP workers. And then by the evening, all the videos started circulating, and we all know that it was BJP workers who torched the vehicle. So, this attempt to peddle fake news comes from BJP. We have seen that time and again.
Sanju Verma, final word. I got to wrap up after that.
Did not peddle any fake news.
I need to make a comment because he's spoken against the PM.
Yeah.
Zaka, I just want to say one thing. जो हिंदी में कहावत है, उल्टा चोर कोतवाल को डांटे, चोरी ऊपर से सीना जोड़ी, तो I don't want to dignify this man, hate-mongering bigot called Tosi, who sits on every debate and gives integrity certificates to the BJP, whereas his eyes are closed to the Bashirhat riots, the Bhaduria riots, the Asansol riots. Today has not even expressed regret for just condemning the violence in West Bengal. I want to say to all Trinamool Congress leaders who say that BJP is rattled by the TMC's successive victories in Bengal. Excuse me, the TMC was saying we will come to power in Goa. What happened? They won 0 seats. The TMC said we will win with a something majority in the Tripura local body election. They won 1 seat out of 333 seats. The BJP won 330 seats. So don't challenge us. We are doing well. We will get better. But the Trinamool is only limited to being a small vernacular party. Whether breathe while you talk. Like Tosis agree or not.
Okay, I'm going to wrap up. I want to leave it at that. Sanju Verma, Tausif Ahmed Khan, Abhijit Majumdar and Som Mandal, and also Saket Gokhale, who left us midway through this debate. But one thing is clear, that it can't be one rule in Kolkata, another rule in Delhi. A peaceful protest is a peaceful protest. It's a democratic right. It's an expression of frustration, if you will. It's an expression of protest. It's an expression of opposition against policies of a government, and that is a legitimate right of any opposition party. Of course, things should not descend to violence like the way they did, but then the violence happened a good 2-3 hours after the detentions began, and perhaps it was because of the fact that the BJP workers were not allowed anywhere close to Nabanna. That's why the violence happened. Not seeking to justify it. It is unacceptable in a democracy that there should be violence, but one was post facto, the other happened before. I'm going to take a break.